Royal weddings are a big entertainment business, but do you know which element of a royal wedding attracts people most? It's gotta be the wedding gown. Royal wedding gowns are closely watched. Designers spend hundreds of hours prepping a wedding gown. However, all wedding gowns don't attract people's attention. Some are just bad look. Therefore, in today's video, we're talking about the 12 worst looking royal wedding gowns that failed to attract people and media. So without further ado, let's begin. At number 12, we've got Princess Sophie of Sweden's wedding gown. Her wedding gown was a sophisticated and elegant creation that featured several notable elements. The dress was made from crepe silk and Italian organza, with handmade lace by Jose Maria Ruiz. It was crafted in 3 shades of white. The gown had a modest V-neck and a scalloped lace set of edges, long lace sleeves, and an A-line silhouette. The bodice was slim with an empire waist and a slight sweetheart neckline. The train was hand-cut and hand-stitched, adding to the gown's intricate detailing. It was custom designed by Swedish designer Ida Jostedt. She wore the gown with a palmette tiara, a gift from her parents-in-law, King Carl XVI Gustaf and Queen Sylvia of Sweden. She also wore teardrop diamond earrings with a thin tulle veil with lace applique. However, there were some criticisms and controversy surrounding the gown. While it was praised for its beauty and the way it suited the bride, some critics felt that the gown was too safe and generic, lacking a unique or standout element that would set it apart from other royal wedding dresses. Also, the controversy surrounding Princess Sophia's past, including her appearance in a men's magazine, overshadowed some of the discussions about her wedding gown. This background led to mixed feelings about her suitability as a royal, which indirectly affected perceptions of her wedding gown. At number 11, we've got Princess Tatiana of Greece and Denmark's wedding gown. The wedding gown was a sophisticated and elegant creation with several notable elements. The gown was designed by Venezuelan designer Angel Sancha. However, the gown was made of ivory fabric with chantilly lace and overlay, which added to a delicate and intricate texture to the gown. The design of the gown was intended to echo the design of the tiara she wore, creating a cohesive and harmonious look overall. The gown featured a fitted bodice and flowing skirt with lace overlay, providing a classic and timeless appeal. Princess Tatiana wore the diamond and pearl antique corsage tiara, which was loaned to her by her mother-in-law, Queen Anne Marie of Greece. This tiara added a touch of regal elegance to her bridal ensemble. However, there were several criticisms with controversy surrounding the gown. Some critics found that the fit of the gown was unflattering, particularly around the bodice area. This led to negative comments about its overall appearance and how it failed to enhance the beauty of Princess Tatiana as expected. The gown was also criticized for lacking a wow factor. Critics felt that it did not meet the high expectations typically associated with royal wedding dresses, which often feature more dramatic or unique elements. Princess Tatiana handled the criticism with grace, though, and stayed away from making any negative comments herself about her wedding gown. Next, we've got Princess Natalie, Wittgenstein Berleburg's wedding gown. The wedding gown was a sophisticated and elegant creation with several notable elements. The gown was made from heavy ivory satin with a silk organza lining. It featured a lace top, an open neckline, long sleeves, and a broad pleated satin belt. The train itself was 3 meters long and 2 meters wide, with the couple's monogram embroidered in the pearls and crystals at the bottom. The gown had a 60s-inspired design with a floral lace overlay on the bodice and sleeves, along with scattered floral applique on the skirt. The dress also featured a sweetheart neckline and long sheer sleeves with star print embroidery. However, there were several criticisms and controversies surrounding the gown. Some critics describe the gown as interesting, which can be interpreted as a polite way of saying that it was unconventional or not universally appealing. There were mixed opinions about the tiara, too, and the overall effect of the gown. The gown was considered a bad one due to the small incident where Princess Natalie forgot to carry her bouquet into the church, leading to a 15-minute postponement of the ceremony. This incident overshadowed some of the discussions about the gown itself. Princess Natalie handled the criticism with grace and did not publicly address the negative comments about her wedding gown. Instead, she focused on the joy of her wedding day. At number 9, we've got Princess Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh's wedding gown. This wedding gown was of silk organza, a coat dress designed by Samantha Shaw. The dress was decorated with 325,000 pearls and crystal beads, which were hand-sewn onto the fabric to give it a discreet luster. The gown featured a V-neck coat dress made of ivory silk organza with crepe and tulle. It was hand-dyed to match the stone of St. George's Chapel. The dress also had long sleeves and intricate beading around the neck, sleeves, train, and down the back and front. The The gown concealed an evening dress underneath, which was revealed during the private party following the ceremony. This evening dress was also made of silk and was dyed to match the coat dress. The gown, designed by Samantha Shaw, has been a subject of both admiration and criticism. Despite its intricate designs, Sophie's wedding gown faced criticism for being too large for some media outlets, and public opinions suggest that the dress did not flatter her body shape and appeared oversized. Additionally, the black and white pearl necklace and earrings were considered clunky and not well suited for the overall look. Sophie handled the criticisms with grace, though, continuing to wear the wedding accessories on important occasions. Sophie chose to embrace her wedding day choices and did not let criticisms affect her public appearances. Next, we've got Charlotte Casiraghi of Monaco's wedding dress. She wore a St. Laurent dress by Anthony Vaccarello brocade mini dress for her civil ceremony at the Princess Palace of Monaco. The dress was made of lace brocade and featured 3 large bows down the front with a length that went just above her knee in long sleeves. After the civil ceremony, Charlotte changed into a custom Chanel gown for the evening reception. This gown featured a bodice that emulated the white gown Grace Kelly wore in the 1955 film To Catch a Thief. For her second wedding ceremony on June 29, 2019, she chose a custom-made Giambattista Valley gown with sheer sleeves and an off-the-shoulder ruffled neckline, paying tribute to her mother, Princess Caroline's wedding dress from 1979. Charlotte's choice of a short gray dress for her wedding was considered unconventional and faced criticism for its departure from the traditional ball gown wedding dress with a long train. Some media outlets and public opinions criticized the dress for not fitting the typical expectations of a royal wedding gown. However, Charlotte Casiraghi was strong enough to face the criticisms. She handled it with grace and confidence. She continued with the wedding celebrations, including a picnic reception and an evening dinner and dancing, indicating that she embraced her choice and did not let the criticism affect her special day. She continued with her wedding celebrations and showcasing her confidence in her fashion choices. Next, we've got Queen Mary of Denmark's wedding gown. Her wedding gown was designed by Uffe Frank and made of ivory Duchess satin with a mother of pearl sheen. The gown featured a scoop neckline, fitted waist, and long sleeves, with the sleeves designed to fold like calla lilies, referred to as calla sleeves. The skirt was lined with 31 meters of tulle and included 8 meters of heirloom lace, folded into panels that opened from the hip. The gown was also detachable 6-meter train, allowing for a versatile look post-ceremony. The gown included several personal touches, such as her late mother's wedding ring stitched into the bodice near her heart, and her bouquet contained eucalyptus to represent her Australian root. However, the wedding gown was considered conservative and fairly traditional by some experts and media outlets. The gown's traditional design with its scoop neckline and long sleeves was compared to other royal wedding dresses, including those of Meghan Markle and Princess Diana. Queen Mary handled the criticisms with grace and confidence. She continued to embrace her wedding gown's design and its sentimental value. The gown was later displayed at Frederiksborg Castle in honor of her 50th birthday, and was later on an expedition titled Frederick X, King of Tomorrow. This indicates that she valued the gown and its significance regardless of any public or media opinions. Next, we've got Princess Caroline of Monaco's wedding gown. She married a Parisian banker, Philippe Junot, on June 29, 1979. The wedding was a significant event, drawing attention from the media and public alike. Princess Caroline's wedding gown was designed by Marc Bonham of Christian Dior, a designer favored by her mother, Princess Grace. This gown was a white floral embroidered organelle dress featuring a sheer round neck lace bodice, fluid sleeves, and a soft full skirt. The design was reportedly tweaked at the last minute after details of the dress were leaked to the public. The gown received significant criticism in the media and the public domain. It was subject of intense speculation and ultimately received criticisms for not meeting public expectations. It was considered bad by many, although specific reasons for this negative reception were not detailed in the sources. The criticisms likely stem from the high expectations and immense speculation surrounding the dress, given the prominence of the event and the designer involved. Given her continued prominence and elegance in the public eye, it has been inferred that she maintained her composure and continued to be fashionable and a favorite, known for her understated elegance. Despite the criticisms in the media and in the public domain, Princess Caroline continued to be celebrated for her fashion sense and elegance, demonstrating resilience in the face of public scrutiny. At number 5, we've got Princess Mabel of Orange Nassau's wedding gown. The wedding gown was designed by the Dutch designers Victor and Rolf. The gown was made of Duchess satin and featured long sleeves, a bateau neckline, and a long train. The most distinctive feature of the gown was its adornment with almost 250 bows of various sizes, ranged in a lattice pattern that covered the entire dress. Specifically, the gown had 128 bows on the skirt, 85 on the bodice, and 35 on the train, all handmade from crepe georgette. The bows symbolize longevity, commitment, and permanence. The patterns of the bows covered the seams, making it appear as though the gown was cut from a single piece of cloth. The gown took more than 600 hours to make. However, the gown received a very mixed set of reviews and was considered controversial. It was designed as, quote, weird and wrong by some individuals in the media and public domain. Critics labeled the dress as glamorous, daring, shameless, and inappropriate. One Dutch commenter even remarked, "How dare she upstage the bride?" indicating that the gown drew more attention than was deemed appropriate for a royal wedding. Princess Mabel appeared to handle the criticism with grace and resilience. She paid little heed to the critics, acknowledging that there are many more important things to worry about. She also maintained her composure to deal with the issue. Next, we've got Princess Astrid of Belgium's wedding gown. She married Archduke Lorenz of Austria-Este on September 22, 1984. The wedding was a grand affair, reflecting the royal status of the couple and drawing significant media attention. Princess Astrid's wedding gown was designed by local Belgian courtier Louis Mies. The gown was a quintessential 1980s creation, featuring exuberant puffball sleeves and made of taffeta. This design choice was very much in line with the fashion trends of the 1980s, which often emphasized bold and voluminous silhouette. The gown was paired with antique Ruffo di Calabria veil, originally worn by Queen Paola's grandmother, Laura Mosselman du Chanoy, and was anchored to her bouffant hairstyle with a flower crown. This gown is considered as the worst gown in Dutch royal history. The gown was described as exuberant, 1980s puffball sleeve confection of taffeta, which suggests that it was seen as a bold fashion statement rather than a universally acclaimed design. While there is no specific information on criticism or how she handled it, the gown remains a memorable part of the fashion history. The significant negative feedback suggests that the gown was not well received. The criticism showed that it was not very prominently accepted by many. The dress wasn't the prettiest, but they did look very happy on their wedding day, and that's all that matters. At number 3, we've got Princess Tessy of Luxembourg's wedding gown. She married Swiss businessman Frank Floressel in a cute ceremony in Switzerland, July 23, 2021. The ceremony was a low-key event, contrasting with her first wedding to Prince Louis of Luxembourg in 2006, which took place in a modest country church. Princess Tessy wore a distinctive gown on her wedding day, which has been a subject of much discussion. The gown Tessy wore was a sleeveless, white-tiered dress featuring a black ribbon under the bust. This dress was identified as a BCBG Max Azera creation. The gown's design was simple yet elegant, with a ruffled texture and a black belt that added a unique touch to the overall look. Despite the gown's unique design, it faced criticism from both the media and the public. The gown was considered unconventional for a royal wedding dress. Critics pointed out that it lacked the traditional elements expected in royal attire, such as intricate detailing, a long train, or a tiara. The simplicity and the black ribbon were seen as too casual and not befitting of a royal wedding. However, her choice to share pictures of her, quote, beautiful wedding on social media suggests that she embraced her personal style and was content with her choices. Despite the criticism, she has had a notable presence in the media, particularly regarding her wedding gown. Next, we've got Zara Tindall of the UK's wedding gown. Her wedding gown has been a topic of discussion in the media and public domain. Zara Tindall's wedding gown was designed by Stuart Parvin, a favorite designer of the British royal family. The gown was an ivory silk veil and silk Duchess satin creation. It featured a cap sleeve design with a chevron pleated bodice that ended in dramatic inverted pleats on a dropped waist, creating a bell-shaped silhouette. The gown also had silk tulle straps that formed a V-shape at the back, a full skirt with a subtle train, and a delicate fabric-covered button set down the back. The dress was described as immaculately cut with a fitted bustier, drop below, and a classic A-line skirt. skirt. Despite the gown's elegant design, it faced some criticism from fashion experts and the public. The gown was considered a little dated and old-fashioned by style expert Miranda Holder, who suggested that it required additional details and design to elevate it. Critics pointed out that the gown lacked intricate detailing and flourishes expected in royal wedding dresses, making it appear too simple for a royal occasion. Additionally, Zara's choice of an electric blue pedicure, which was seen as unconventional for royal brides, was seen as a departure from traditional royal standards. However, she embraced her personal style and choices, focusing on her happiness and the intimate nature of her wedding ceremony. And at number 1, we've got Sophie, Princess of Prussia's wedding gown. She married Prince George Frederick of Prussia August 27, 2011. The wedding took place within the grounds of Schloss Sanssouci, the summer palace of the Prussian monarchs. Princess Sophie wore a silk and tulle gown designed by Wolfgang Jew. The gown featured a modern pleated design and was complemented by a sheer jacket, adding a contemporary twist to the traditional bridal look. The dress was made using 180 feet of fabric and was accessorized with a 100-year-old family veil, which added a touch of historical significance to her attire. The color of the dress was described as whispering white, intended to give an antique appearance. Despite the gown's innovative design, it did not escape criticism. The gown was considered innovative and modern, which was a departure from traditional royal wedding dresses. Critics added that the collar destroyed the design of the gown, especially combined with the jacket that didn't even go with the gown itself. A few others said that the rest of the dress looked like it went through a shredder, making it look abysmal. The detailed criticism has suggested that the gown has raised some eyebrows for its modernity, but it did not attract significant negative attention. However, Princess Sophie chose to not publicly address any of the negative comments, focusing instead on her personal happiness and the significance of her wedding day. And with this, we wrap this video. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you find our channel interesting, then subscribe to it. Thank you. See you in the next video.